Hey guys, it's Andrea with Sucs For You in Houston, Texas, and I am back with a new video. I'm excited to say the sun finally came out, and we've had overcast, cold, and rainy weather for the last 2 weeks in Houston, Texas. And I'm about done with that, and the plants are too, so I'm really excited that today's Valentine's Day, and by noon we had blue skies, and that was not in the forecast, so I'm definitely happy about that. Today, this video is going to be about repairing succulents that haven't had enough sun for a while, and maybe you have some cold weather damage to repair, and it's pretty easy. I'm just going to walk you through a few scenarios and show you how to make those repairs so you can try and get your plants back to their gorgeous final form. I think this is a really good and familiar example of some of the problems that are pretty common when you're not getting enough light to your succulents, particularly the rosettes. This is an Echeveria subsessilis that hasn't seen proper sun in nearly 2 months. So what we're going to do is trim right about here, and I'm actually going to leave the rest of the plant potted in place so that I'll get new growth where I cut it. And I'll remove some of the leaves as well, and I should get some new growth coming in off of there too. Of course, we'll be propagating all the leaves that we remove, and again, leaving it potted in its pot to allow new growth to come in. I could take the whole thing out and go put it in a plastic pot, and but just for this demonstration, just keeping it simple, I'm just going to leave it where it is. Okay, so right about here is where I am seeing the stretching begin, and while I don't like the way the rest of the leaves are kind of like folding down, I'm not going to worry about them too much right now. First, what we want to do is find out where we want to cut, and I think right about there, maybe a little bit lower. So I'm going to start by removing one row of leaves. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to try and be real careful with it. Because we want to propagate them. Let's just go ahead and go around that same level. Make sure you can see. That's good. These actually propagate really well in my region. And these are some pretty tough cookies for plants. So I don't know if that one came off very clean, but it's okay. I think I'll leave this one, and I think I'm going to take off this row, this one from this level on the back. Well, that's all I'm going to take off. And really all you have to do is, you have a nice sterilized pair of scissors. You want to come in and cut at an angle so that if any water does get on the cut end of the base plant, it'll just roll off and won't sit on top. And really, that you don't want that to happen at all. You don't want any water on this plant while the top is healing, and you really don't want any standing water on your succulents at all ever. So this is just a precaution that you take with all kinds of plants when you're taking cuttings like this. So I'm just going to come in. Let me see if I can zoom y'all in a little bit more. Okay, so from this angle you can really see where we have, look at that funny growth. These should all just be kind of like up, like cupped. But what happens when succulents with these kind of leaves are looking for light, they flatten out, they like spread out like as much as they can to create more surface area to capture light. So that's what's happening here. And it's not ideal, but I'm glad it happened because I think this is a really great example of a very common and easy to fix problem in everyone's succulent collections. So, see where we're gonna cut. It is right here, okay? And I'm just gonna lift these guys up out of the way, real gentle black. I'm gonna come in at an angle, okay? If you can see that, I can only do this once. Ready? Okay. Good, we're done. So, here we go. There's this guy. That's going to be the top. Of course, what we're going to do is let that bottom dry. Okay? And come on and focus for me. There we go. And I might even go ahead and wind up taking off. Let me just go ahead and take off a couple more leaves just to give us a little more room around the stem. They'll probably fall off anyways. Let's do this guy too. Okay, so that's what we're left of there. And then we have the top. I'm gonna go ahead and remove some of the leaves from here too while we're in here and clean that cut up a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. It's definitely not pretty right now, but I'm going to just give it a chance to heal up and start by propagating these other leaves, and we'll see. It can be a race to see if the leaf babies form before we start seeing new growth on here. And in fact, on that, looking at it from here, I want to take a little bit more off. Because what will happen is you'll start seeing, or I pull these leaves off, a lot of times that's where the babies come in. So the more room you have along your stems, the more likely you're going to get new growth here and here and here. So it's always exciting to watch and wait. You kind of never know what you're going to get, but I've seen it before, and these guys will definitely start pushing out some babies. I'm going to say maybe, I'm going to give them a month. And we'll check back here and see, we're mid-February now. Let's go ahead and say a little more than a month. Let's say the end of March. If I had to put money on it, I would say there would definitely be some new signs of growth on this guy. And once I get new rosettes up here, I can pop them off and just take out the plant and propagate the leaves. There's a number of things I can do from this point, but if we're lucky, we're going to have a lot of new plants from the leaves and a lot of new plants along the stem line. And these guys might even stand up on their own once they finally getting more regular sun. So just have to wait and watch and hope. That's all we got, right? Now I'm just going to add all the leaves to my, I have a paper crawfish tray. These things are amazing if you can get your hands on them during crawfish season. Get a stack of these paper trays, kind of like cardboard recycled material. You can put dirt in them if you'd like. Right now I'm just leaving it empty. They're great for drying out propagation leaves and cuttings. And we'll just have to wait and see. We wait, we look for roots, and once they get roots, we move them over to the dirt bed. So I do have an example of stem babies I can show you. This is a cubic frost that I had to top. It just wasn't happy at all. And now I have 1, 2, 3 new babies coming in. And what you're going to do is wait until they get a little bit longer. You're going to want to see their stems. You can leave them on as long as you want, really. But if you want to remove them, you're going to wait until they have some more substantial stems somewhere to actually grab a hold of so you can pick them. And when you remove them, you're just going to remove them very gently like you would a leaf that you were going to propagate. And these are 2 of the baby cubic frosts. Let's see if I can get it to focus. I'm not dumping them. And they're in these little tiny concrete planters. They have drainage holes. I got them from Succulent Gnome on Etsy, and I think they're just about as cute as anything gets. So there's always a bright side if you look for it. And in this case, I took 1 sad plant and turned it into 5 new happy babies. Okay, this dude, he's a little scarier looking, I think. This is an Echeveria agavoides, and as you can tell, the new growth coming in is really happy, but this guy was actually in the ground right before the hurricane, back in late August, and we had a lot of rain up before the hurricane, so it got rained on, it got sunned on, so we have sun damage along the leaves. We have some overwatering problems here, and I really love this because it was from my husband, and I want to see what I can do to help it look a little happier, because this new growth coming in the middle is like, it's perfect. The rest of the stuff, the leaves around it, not so perfect. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove some of the lower leaves. These guys are like crispy, this particular variety, and I always have a hard time removing the leaves without damaging them. So I don't actually think I've ever successfully propagated any of them. But maybe if I take my time and do it slow today, I might have a little more luck. So let's give it a shot. Okay, so I've taken it out of its pot. It's gonna be much easier to work with because actually I need to turn it upside down actually to be able to get to the lower leaves that I want to remove. So get a little bit closer. And like I said, that center growth is gorgeous, but the rest of it, look, it is not happy. Super wonky. So let's try and make it look pretty again. So you want to unpot your plant more than likely, and then get down in there and just find the lowest level of leaves and start working them off. Okay, here we go. Like I said, this one is a doozy to bring cleanly away. That is not a clean break. Looks clean, but I really don't think it is. I don't know why. They're just crunchy. So, let's see. I'm just going to keep working them free. Okay, so I'm almost done, and rather than top this guy, I really love how fat that stem is. I'm gonna leave it, because this is gonna stress the plant out having all of its leaves removed like this, and we just want to make sure it has some time to recover before, you know, it's gonna be directing its energy into healing the areas that are being removed. Plus, it's not even quite spring yet, so just gonna try not to risk the life of this guy. Look at that. By doing too much to it too soon. Look at all those leaves that came off of this little guy. So what's going to happen is these leaves on the outside are going to become the bottom layer, and hopefully it gets as big and beautiful as it was when I first got it. And I'm going to try to propagate some of these leaves, but I'm telling you right now, I still don't feel good about getting any viable leaves off. Maybe that one. We'll see. All we can do is wait and watch. So what I'm going to do with this one is leave him, I think I'm going to leave him out of the pot for a few days, let the sides dry up, and then put him back in his pot. Might even go in and clean up. There's some leaf nubs left on here. And who knows, maybe we'll get some stem babies on this one too. It's really hard to say who's going to do what, but it's definitely got the cute little red tips. This might be that Echeveria, the Agavoidus lipstick. I'm really not sure what the exact variety is. It's kind of hard to tell with these guys. There's a lot of different kinds. Well, the sun's setting, so I guess we have to wrap up this video. I am so grateful for the several hours of sunshine we had today. I know everyone else suffering from these conditions is as well. I do hope the video was helpful, and I would really appreciate anyone leaving suggestions for future video ideas in the comments below. Also be sure to read the description, show more under all my videos. There's more information and links on how you can reach out to me, particularly if you need to send me pictures or kind of ask some one-on-one questions. I'm very happy to help. So very easy to repair your succulents. I know it's not fun all the time to sit there and watch them slowly start losing their structure, but it's okay. We can fix them, and usually that means that we're going to have some babies on the side. So it's, again, let's think positive. Okay, we got a few weeks left until spring. We can do this. We've